fails.
Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight.
Let's go! Let's go!
Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. No one.
And of course, you gotta get the coffin spin. Yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday Night Sidecast of AEW Collision here on the Mike the Ref Twitch channel. Number 2 in the book. Our second week of doing this. Last week was a ton of fun, so I'm looking forward to see what we're going to be able to do tonight. Jam-packed episode, and Tony Khan was nice enough to give us a nice, let's just randomly throw a match of the year candidate in there. With Shibata taking on Danielson tonight in our main event. Well, at least I think it's our main event. Well, you never know with Collision. You never know. Tony Khan put the world title match as the opening match on Wednesday. So I know a lot of people have been talking about this week. The biggest news coming out of the week, of course, is the Mercedes debut, right? But and people saying that it just didn't generate the numbers that you expected. It doesn't really surprise me in a lot of ways that we didn't get the numbers that they thought we were going to get here. Just for the fact that, going on a speculation pop is not going to help. And the fact that Mercedes hasn't been gone for that long, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Well, she's only been away for a few months from the hardcore's eyes and maybe a year from the casuals. So it's not really possible that maybe Mercedes will draw them more numbers as we go along here. Hey, Cameron, how you doing tonight, my friend? The new MLB, I actually picked up the new digital deluxe add-on yesterday. I got everything set up for my team. The players will be playing tomorrow night here, so played a little bit of the Jeter storyline a bit. It's always a grind. It always has been, always will be. And I don't mind. Like I said, I checked out the Jeter grind about halfway through it right now, and just getting ready for. I was actually going to take tomorrow off, but since I'm not worrying about, not really worried about setting up anything for overlays and such, I was going to try and change up to a baseball overlay, but I just couldn't find the material without actually paying out a few bucks, so I just did have to conquest. Yeah, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you got into it. But tonight's gonna be a wrestling night. Saturday nights are fine for fighting as well as Wednesday here. So we're gonna be once again checking out a little AEW Collision tonight, and then after that we're gonna be doing a little WWE 2K24. Another week in the GM mode. Originally I did schedule 2 weeks for tonight, but I think it's gonna work out well. We'll go tonight with 1 week, Wednesday with another week, and then next Saturday, I do not believe there is a Collision next Saturday. So in that case, we'll end up doing the pay-per-view, or the PLE as they would call it. I believe it's Hell in a Cell. We'll do that, and then maybe if that finishes up early enough, we might pop in some MLB The Show. I just like the fact that I got my uniform all done up and everything all good to go, so little cleaner look this year, little basic. Pulled little Toddy, congrats. I really hope that this year all he can do is hit. First pack. Of course it's the first pack. I was going to say, if you try, it wouldn't be normal if it wasn't the first pack, right? Hey, Zodiac, how you doing there tonight, my friend? We're just talking a little MLB The Show as we're getting ready for tonight's episode. And yeah, it's going to be Shibata Danielson just pulled randomly out of a hat by Tony Khan once again. Just like, here we go. We're getting the Infantry versus the House of Black. I do believe that is one of the wild card matches for the AEW title tournament, which I found a lot of fervor online about the BCC not being involved in the tag tournament. I honestly feel that Moxley and Castagnoli do not want to be a part of a tag team themselves. They were just there with a common enemy. Like originally it was just Moxley and Dax, and then Cash got involved, so Claudio got involved. And it just went from there, right? So as much as they did have a natural feud going on. By the way, more importantly than anything else, how are you doing tonight, sir? I hope everything's going well for you. Let's see here if we can... There we go. Oh my God, we're actually going to get it on time today. I am literally shocked. We're actually going to get things. Am I doing good? Well, I'll be frank. I'll be Mike in this case, but yeah, this is the time of year where we go a little bit crazy at work. For those that don't know, outside of this, I actually run car washes, and we're in charge of the big melt right now. Like, for you American folk, I think we're getting in the low 40s, mid 40s. We're supposed to be in the 50s next week for a couple days before we go back into the 10s and the teens for temperatures. So everything's literally melting all over the place, and melting means dirt. Dirt means got to clean your vehicle, and we were lined up to the wazooms all day today. I got here, I grabbed some Ito, which is I don't know if you guys have Ito down in the States. I will say the one... Are you kidding me? They're doing this again? I hope you guys have your feet on right now, because they're not even waiting. Danielson Shibata, first match out of the... And actually, now that I think about this, and I know this is hard to believe, but I have been thinking about stuff for a little bit here. But having your main event as the first match on Collision actually is pretty smart in many ways. Hey, Astrid, how you doing here tonight? I hope everything's going well for you here today. You get to see what it's like when AEW comes to Canada, as they're starting their Canadian trek right now. They're in Ottawa tonight. They moved to Toronto on Wednesday. And I don't know. I haven't checked 100% of the details. I don't think there's a Collision next Saturday. As I see Shibata just very calm and quiet entrance. This is pretty cool. So for reference, Shibata just screamed on his entrance, so you guys can match it up whatever way you need to right now. It's one thing that sucks about these online shows. Sometimes I'll be ahead, you'll be behind. I needed to come in here well in advance and stay for a whole week. Yeah, it'd be cool if they were able to. But McGinnis still on his clam digger gimmick. I love it. I want to do every show selfishly. Yeah, I get it. I would love to see that for everybody, but this is actually going to be a fun night here. I do believe we get Julia Hart against Trish Adora tonight, which that means all three members of the Infantry are going to be out here tonight. So, I already went to the ROH tapings. I want to go to every AEW show at one pay-per-view at least. The pay-per-views are something special. That's one thing I'm starting to find now. Like, I know people complain about the attendance at the weekly shows, but it is starting to turn out to be like what the old school wrestling used to be. You have some great matches on the TV episodes. You might not have the biggest crowds, but realistically, you shouldn't book venues with that size of crowd. Okay, yeah. Oh, we get Garcia Moriarty. That'll be fun to watch. And Pac will be taking on Jobber. Claudio and Lance. You want to talk about meat division match? That is going to be a fun match to watch. And O'Reilly's return here. Unfortunately, they're going to keep touting it's from Canada, but it's Eastern Canada, so... I still love the fact that the House of Black are taking on the Infantry in a wild card match for the tag tournament. Anybody here suspect that the Infantry is going to win? If they win, I'll be shocked. And there's got to be like 4 levels of shenanigans on that one there. But yeah, I could see there's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun going up this next week here. Want them to win? I'd like to see them move on. Because let's face it, one of the biggest, I don't want to say upsets, but one of the biggest things that happened to the Continental Classic was when Daniel Garcia beat Brody King in a match with Garcia pretty much meant nothing. And look what he's turned that into now. So maybe the Infantry could get that spot, and then I believe they get FTR if they, the winner of that one gets FTR in the brackets. So I'd love to see it go either way, especially with that promo that the Infantry did for FTR last week. So storyline wise, it makes a lot of sense. Why did he call Flying Brian? All right, McGinnis is getting on right now with such a great conversation. So, Mr. Crowder, how the heck are you doing, sir? I'm probably not doing as good as Rick. I want to wish congratulations to the Family Jewels, which I do believe you are a part of as well, on claiming the RCW Canadian Tag Team Championships yesterday. JJ Spade and Rick Jules gained those titles off of the Rads yesterday, which that's going to be a fun rivalry going forward, I think. So, other than that, busy day at work, extremely busy. So I didn't get it. My apologies for sending out the social media rather late today. I literally didn't get a chance to do much of anything until I got home from work. So I was actually ordering my takeout when I put out that post on X about tonight. So it's one good thing about ordering takeout. You got to time while they're cooking it. So, I had a bento from Ito. So that was actually rather luxurious, I do believe is the best way to put it. Thank you for contributing to the How the Ref Would Book Challenge, Mr. Crowder. Let's see what the total's at right now. We have just hit 110,000 of 150,000. So if you weren't here on Wednesday, we made the announcement of the challenge is now How the Ref Would Book Charity Challenge. And it's going to feature Kayla J as well as the Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots podcast's own Vic the Villain. And yes, I have forgotten to add that little category into the Discord for everyone so that they can put in their ideas. I'll see if I can hook it up right after the stream tonight. I want to, so you guys can put in your different ideas there. I think we got an idea for the first one here, but... Love watching. I love Danielson when he's in here. Just going back and forth, and then all of a sudden, I don't feel like going back and forth, so I'm just going to trap the, I'm just going to trap your leg, and we're going to go back down to the ground again. This has been a very, I would say, very Japanese-style match. But enough about me. How have you guys been doing this week? Like, I know... Zodiac, you said you're doing good. You're chilling. Astra just wants more wrestling to cover, which I don't blame her at all. And Crowder, I'm assuming you're doing well. How are you? Oh my God! I thought Danielson overexposed his knee. Going on days off tonight, so you're doing swell. Nice. Call that a win. Now here's the more important question. Are you waiting for Game Pass to get MLB The Show, or have you already picked it up? If you guys saw my X posts, I did actually purchase the digital deluxe pack for MLB The Show. I looked at it, I'm like, for all the packs we're getting, for the extra stubs we're going to get out of it, to get to play it a couple days early, you're paying maybe $15-20. Now that it looks like the server issues are gone at least till Tuesday. No, I bought the digital deluxe. I get my money's worth out of the show every year, so it's worth it for it. Yeah. And I think, you know, that's another reason why I thought about it. I'm like, I try not to spend a whole lot of money out of the game. But these guys deserve a little extra money out of me just because they've done just a fantastic job at what I saw. McG, you made it! Great to see you here tonight, my friend. How in the world are you doing? I thought you were going to play me off just like, you know, you got Enzo and Bully going at it here. If that's even Enzo there, but... I got such a kick out of that post you put in the Discord there. Oh, you were at the Comic-Con. How was it? I'm assuming it was amazing. It's a Comic-Con. You spend lots of money. Hope you got some good gear there from artists out. Oh, God. That's way too much money, yeah. It's one thing I like about, you know, doing this. It saves money, too. Speaking of money, if anybody enjoys what they're seeing, please feel free to subscribe if you wish. But I think everybody here is already, so not too much of a deal there. No big deal. Always appreciate having everybody here. Community challenge now officially 75% complete. Thank you, McG. 114,000 raised. I got a feeling we're going to have this done up by Mania. So I'm really going to have to get some ideas from you guys, because my original pick for what we were going to do for a nice drop kick, what I was thinking for doing for our challenge was the most easiest one, finishing the story of Cody Rhodes. But if you guys got something else you want to see more than that, I would love to... Oh, God. That Bully Ray thing's very comical. He went off route. That doesn't surprise me. Because it gets eyes on him. Because Lord knows Impact Wrestling isn't doing that much for him anymore. Ever since the more... Oh, God. Shibata just said, no, you don't know how to hit. I'll show you how to hit. I love how Shibata throws a right hand into every second chop there. He's wrapped up with Impact. A handful of people finished up their... That doesn't surprise me. It's gonna be interesting to see where Impact goes here, because I know a lot of people were diehards with Scott D'Amore. Used to listen to Busted Open all the time. Bully ruined it. The fact that I had to pay to listen to Bully Ray, just nah. I used to download the Taz podcast when it was on there, but I wasn't much for anything else on that network there. So I think it was Johnny Swinger, Heat Slater, Bully Ray, and Valiant McCall. So in other words, two guys that they were somewhat using, one guy that had a storyline just wrap up, and a guy that was just a hell of a gimmick. Oh, so now they're trading ankle locks off here. Look at this, just trade off back and forth with ankle locks. This is hilarious. Let's throw over, let's throw over, let's throw over. These guys are so smart in the ring. That's the funniest part about it. You'll see a few variations that you never see before. Bully has to be the most knowledgeable about wrestling all the time. I find that there are certain people, and I even know this on a local level too, that there are certain people that need to be right all the time. And their version of the facts has to be the facts, or else it isn't the facts. And yeah, those people, sometimes you just have to let them win and then just walk away. And sometimes you just don't want to get involved in conversations with them. So I totally get why people, but Bully Ray might rub people the wrong way. I love that Shivati's still at it. He's still got that enthusiasm yet. That a lot of people did have before. Mr. Vic, we were just chatting about you. We just hit 75% of our goal here. I am doing good. We're watching a clinic right now. Don't worry, we're going to have, I hope to make the goal by Mania. What you miss on Collision so far? A clinic between Shibata and Danielson. They have been putting on the main events during the first part of the show now, which is a huge... Oh, God. That's going to be it. Nope. I forgot. You need more than one finisher to finish a match now these days. It's not on the hard cabs. Can't count. We were being nice, yeah. So, yeah, you didn't miss much other than them outlining the card. We're going to be getting Garcia Moriarty, which should be great. The Infantry and the House of Black in the first round of the wild card. Winner gets FTR. Julia Hart, Trish, Adora. And then Kyle O'Reilly makes his return to wrestling, taking on... Got to get those hips going on that dance there. Not to say I do apologize for missing the show on Thursday. I was in for a couple minutes, then I took off. Yeah. Oh, if you guys get a chance today, one of the advantages I have at work, it might be stressful as all hell, but at least I get a chance to listen to my podcast as I'm going from venue to venue, right? Because I'm in charge of 5 to 6 venues as I'm driving, as I'm fixing stuff. So one of the podcasts I was listening to was this week's AEW Unrestricted, which features the bounty hunter Brian Keith this week. And there's a lot of good stories in there. So talking about how he got his gimmick, how his gimmick fell so well in DDT. And truth be known, how Booker T helped him out, which Booker T seems to be a level of controversy this week, as he once again pulled a Booker T and tried to get CM Punk excommunicated in certain ways. If you guys didn't hear that story. CM Punk showed up at NXT this week, and Booker T said they had an altercation. Every source that Fightful came up with, every source that Fightful could come up with at NXT knows Punk's reputation, but also knows that Booker T can be full of shit some days. Pardon my French. And apparently this was the case. That nobody saw this confrontation anywhere in the damn building. So it's one of those where Booker T is trying to get clicks on his podcast. That's where all the information came out about the confrontation, on Booker T's podcast. So how many clicks is he getting right now? And like, CM Punk's made it, not officially though, but pretty clear that he wants to take over NXT when Michaels is done with it, which I honestly feel would be a great place for him. Is Shibata gonna pull this out? Is Danielson gonna lose another big one? The shoulder's on the knee. How are you going to call that a pin? Yeah, there's one thing for everybody to remember, that Booker T is full of crap. As long as you remember that, it's great. But yeah, Brian Keith came up earlier because of that as well, because Keith actually got trained by Booker T originally, or got started in the business because of him. What the hell is Danielson doing? He's moving his hands the wrong way. Nice reversal. Wow. That was I love that finish. I love that finish simply for the fact that, nobody... It was a game of chess on who was going to get the final tough pin in, right? I don't like for the fact it got shot the way it did, because it looked like Shibata's feet were pretty much at the ropes. And Danielson's like, no. Shibata deserves the praise here. Shibata's had a rough time here, because... if you didn't know, he had some visa issues, and that's why he had to quickly kick his... Yeah, Brian's shoulder's black and blue. It's like big-time purple right now. But I'm glad they're building Danielson up a little bit to take on Ospreay. We know how good he is, but also for the fact he needs to get some wins regardless, just to get a little momentum going here. Because that match with Danielson and Ospreay is going to be absolutely fantastic. But Shibata, he ended up having some issues with his visa. So therefore they had to get the title onto Yuta. And then they had to get that cleaned out. And apparently just last week, they cleaned up the visa issues finally. Took them about 2 months. So what do you do when you get Shibata back, the first match back? Well, before his visa issues come back again, let's get him in with Danielson and get that match out of the way. And I'll say for sure that that match absolutely delivered right there. At least I will say this about this promo right now. Mercedes learned the rule of what you have to do when you come in. You have to hit that button so that the Titantron goes off, or sorry, the Jumbotron goes off, and your pyro hits and all that stuff. Because we've come down to the fact that there has to be a button that they press to come out, right? So, oh, this is nice. So when you do TSM Plus, you get the just the graphic on the screen instead of having to deal with commercials. The picture-in-picture is just straight video. It's nice. Since we last chatted, they opened up 2 more sections for Rampage Dynamite in Toronto. Almost 6,000 sold. If they keep pushing it in Toronto, that'll help big time. That's the thing. And a lot of people were talking about the attendance and the numbers for viewership for Dynamite this week. And while it was still 800,000, it was just barely above what happened last week and still third in the ratings right now. A lot of this has to come down to marketing, I feel. That I think a lot of things that, one thing that's going to help improve it is one very simple commercial that happened actually Thursday night. It was Mercedes Moné sitting ringside at the Celtics game. Or courtside, sorry. And they had her picture. They had the AEW Dynamite Splash logo and say that was on Wednesday, right? So I think for the fact that a lot of people didn't even know she was back, and sports fans and wrestling fans, while there's not a 1-for-1 there still is a bunch of corresponding facts going in between the two. So I think they're going to start getting a little bit more momentum out of this, but TK's got to learn to advertise better. He's got to get out. Like the show in Edmonton, I've barely heard anything about it. I keep trying to remind myself that it's still May 12th, which, by the way, we will not have a sidecast that day for obvious reasons. But yeah, other than the fact of me having a great memory about it, I think all the free publicity they're getting from Bailey and being a big business is helping. Yes and no, McG. Like, it's a double-edged sword when you come to that. The social media gathering of having Bailey at big business, most of those people that see that stuff, more often than not, I feel, are more of the diehards anyway, that if they were going to be at AEW, they'd be there already. On the other flip side, the ones that are driving me nuts are the ones that turn around and say, oh, well, Bailey should be fired here because she was at an opposing brand. Which I thought was just one or two idiots, but it really feels like it became a bit of a thing that night, and it's just like, you guys are completely stupid, aren't you? So I missed it. Did they state the stipulation for this match? There are a lot of tribalistic idiots that always ruin a good thing. Yeah. It's a lot of the reason why I get out of a lot of things that I'm just, you guys see what I like. You guys see what I like. I don't hate anything when it comes to wrestling. There's nothing really bad right now. There's a place for everything in wrestling right now, and I think everybody can pretty much say that. Whether you're a hardcore fan, whether you're a nostalgia fan, whether you're a high-paced match fan, whether you're a story fan, there's something out there for you. It's just about finding it, why to put the effort in. And that's the biggest battle with casuals, is the fact that you have to, a casual needs to know that he or she has to get in there and actually find it. All right, there's only one complaint I got about Trish. And I love Trish in so many ways. She does a great job in the ring. The other two guys, when they're in there, they got the camo, they got the more, they look the gimmick. Where is it here? I'm sorry, but this stipulation?
You idiot!
You got a chance for your own title. The winner of this the loser gets banned from ringside. Why wouldn't you put something for the fact that you might actually be easier to win the championship? The hell is this? These people wishing AEW doesn't realize how shitty WWE would be a competition, and not every wrestler will get signed to WWE. We will lose some good performers on our TVs. Here's the best example. Like, oh my God, that's an interesting move. Let's just say I'm not going to be doing those splits anytime soon. Here's something that came out this week that a lot of people don't realize. Apparently, Triple H did not see or understand how good Will Ospreay was. He didn't get a chance to see enough of him, so they didn't offer as much as AEW did. I pretty well think AEW would have outbid him regardless. But at the same time, how do you not know how good Will Ospreay is? Like, that's going out sort of like what if we do tonight on the with the GM mode, a scout missing out on something important on one of our pickups, because we are gonna have to pick up some guys tonight. And because we got week 3 coming in tonight. And we are going to start running into stamina issues if we don't get a little bigger roster going on. According to the internet, Ospreay is mid. That's because Papa H thinks he's mid. I will... Ow. Just... Julia's done such a good job with her character. Like, ever since being part of the Varsity Blondes, like, who would, like, I know we say this before, and I'm going to say it again. Who would have thought that you were going to have Julia Hart be the one to be the most successful out of those 3? Like, Griff's doing a little bit ROH with Maria Kanellis and whatnot right now, but Brian Pillman, now Lexus King, just, I don't know, maybe once in a while they'll pop in a match, but he's not popping with that crowd. And yeah, it just Julia's taking this gimmick and run with it. And it just feels so natural for her to be this little cocky heel here. I'm just amazed how aggressive she really is. So what do you think about the opportunity here we're going to get coming up here? There might be a possibility we're going to get Julia Hart, Mercedes Moné. I think if you want to put Julia Hart in a position where she could go up for that top title, a program with Mercedes might actually do a lot for her if she can keep up, which right now she seems to be perfectly... Oh, here's an example for you right now. Like, you know how the devil's in the details of a lot of things? As a video producer, I am especially happy what Julia did there. It's very subtle, right? She turned Trish to face the hard cam. It's funny that the production guys haven't used the hard cam itself right now. She's lined up. There you go. Right there. That's the money shot where you get Trish there just writhing in pain and Julia just smiling in behind. But she literally turned her body around to do that, so. Give Mercedes the TBS title, make it feel more important. Julia can go for the big title, look legit. I think it's going to have to wait until they get somebody in for, like, you're not going to get Julia and Tony. That's two wild gimmicks that I don't think are going to work out well. Unless there's some way that Julia can create a spell that will take Tony out of her gimmick. And do you really want to do that? But I totally think Mercedes should get the TBS title, but I think it should be... I don't think it should be a one and done to get her the title. I would love to see a dirty finish or something to help that position there. AEW has so many great women's wrestlers. Absolutely. Like, I know we were talking about potential tag partners for Deanna for next Wednesday against Toni Storm and Mariah May in that tag match we're supposed to be getting next Wednesday. I don't think any of us mentioned Thunder Rosa. Like, I know I was thinking maybe the return of Hayter because that might be a great spot to do it in, but honestly, the longer you can... Oh my goodness. Adora was on her knees and still threw the German and bridged out of it. That's a lot. Julia looks pissed. But yeah, there's such a lot of great wrestlers right now. Like, the biggest rumor coming out is the fact that Serena Deeb may have been scheduled to be Mercedes' first opponent and very well could be still. And if that's the case, well, let's just call that a home run and a win. Uh-oh, here we go. Damn, Julia. But once again, it's just like, I really question the stipulation of everything going on. Because now we know Trish will be banned from ringside. Which actually makes a little bit... Whoa! Oh, that's right. They're doing it Wednesday. They're doing Rampage Wednesday live. We might have to do Rampage next week. It's back to back, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but So what, are we going to wait till August to have this match? That made no fall through there. So if they're saying they're not going to do it in Canada, which means they're going to be at least 2 weeks before they do that match. I'm sorry, we reserve our dancing for Swerve Strickland. Plus, I think I might pop a hip if I do that. Oh, here comes Magic Mike on the mic tonight. Magic Matt, sorry. Daddy says no. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun here. So, Garcia did do a lot of wrestling down in Southern Canada. So this is a bit of a more of a home turf matchup for him, so. Well, let's face it. These two guys, I wonder how many times these two have faced off on the indies. This has got to be like, what, 50, 60, 70,000? I'm being facetious, of course, but yeah, been doing a lot with Ethan Page and A1 there. Shout out to Ethan Page, by the way, doing a fantastic job with not only his promotion, but also his work at ROH right now, where he's been trying to get a hold of that TV championship. How they turned into an opportunity the way they did, while Kyle Fletcher was having his visa issues as well. Need to head to a couple shows. Hamilton's 25 minutes away. Hey, it is definitely worth checking out the indie scene. Like, I started with WWE, and then I started working with the indie scene out here, and that's essentially how the podcast got started. And I still can't believe that we are just 9 months away from 10 years from the original iteration of Backbreakers starting up here with the Edmonton Sports Podcast Network, or if you take that acronym, I did definitely try to rip it off. But yeah, it's amazing how everything has grown over the last 10 years here. Shane, don't be touching the wrestlers. Now that's almost like a dark. Oh, there we go. I was just gonna say that looked like Darby Allin flying out of the ring. What do you guys think about what happened with Darby here? Like, now he's got to wait another year before he's able to go try and climb Mount Everest after breaking his foot on Dynamite on Wednesday. It's a side? Definitely. That's my opinion, at least, that, you know, they really shouldn't be. Does he really need to be doing this? And it's so funny because people are putting online now that, oh, everybody's hyping it up that he could die, and it's only 1% of people that's happened to. I'm like, do you know how many people have actually tried climbing Mount Everest? they might have saved that man's life. Absolutely no L taken. That, by the way, thank you for the first time chat, my friend. They could have saved his life in many ways, but I still think they're going to be doing it next year. There is no, like, when you're a man that has nothing to lose, like Darby, going to climb a mountain like that is pretty much nothing. It's par for the course. It's just something that just feels like you have to do it. It's the adrenaline rush. He's a better man than me. That's all I can say when it comes to that. So. I still can't get over Danny's pants, by the way. With the shout out to Teddy Hart there with the pants like that. When he debuted these a couple weeks ago, I instantly thought Teddy Hart. Then I was wondering where the cats were, and then, I saw Matt Menard at ringside, and that just pretty much settled that up. Sorry, I had to get that one in there. But so funny, like, you go back about 2 years ago, and zing. But you go back 2 years ago, and when both these guys were coming in, and they were starting to face off with each other, this almost felt like a pillar match. Nice reversal. So yeah, another thing that came up this week, and I want your guys' thoughts on this. They were talking about the 4 pillars of AEW before. And if you look through it now, like, how long was that? 2 years ago? 3 years ago? Where they had that match of Double or Nothing? I think it was 2 years ago. Where MJF took on the other 3 pillars, per se. Where is everybody now? Oh, there's the tap out. Very nice heel hook. That was beautiful. Beautiful finish. Break out the poutine. Attaboy McGinnis. Oh, I would have laughed if Menard would have went after Garcia. I got a feeling we're gonna see Menard not this week but next week when they're in Quebec City, because that's more pretty much home for AEW, for Menard and Parker. Yeah, because I believe the way the taping schedule is going, next week they're doing Rampage and Dynamite together in Toronto, both live. No Collision next week due to the NCAA tournament. Then the week after that, they're doing Rampage and Dynamite, Collision and Dynamite in Quebec City on back-to-back days. And I think that's to get around the Easter holiday. Because I don't think anybody wants to be out, across the border on top of it for Easter Saturday. Because trying to get plane flights and all that for that weekend, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. Because in many ways for people, Easter and Christmas in Canada is similar to Thanksgiving in the States. Where traffic is an absolute freaking nightmare to get around everywhere. So we are probably going to end up getting with a tape delayed Collision that week. Who knows? They might actually play it on back-to-back days, have it on the Thursday. Just stay tuned to my socials. I'll try and keep you up to date about what's going on. But Yeah, if I'm true and there's no Collision next week, we will be here. We'll probably start around 9 Eastern, and we will do our pay-per-view, our PLE for WWE 2K. That'll start it, and then if we have some time after, we'll probably switch over to a little MLB The Show after. Because I definitely want to get my teeth into that. Like, we're going to be... for those that are coming in late, I will have a bonus stream tomorrow of MLB The Show. Wasn't planning on starting this till Thursday, but I paid the $50, got the digital deluxe, so still cheap with the fact that we get to use Game Pass on it. So the players are active as of Sunday, so got the jerseys up. A little more basic than last year, but might work on them a little bit after I've done the stream here while I'm editing the video for Collision here. I want to get that online ASAP, as the kids call it. But yeah, what have you guys thought about Collision so far? Like, the Shibata Danielson match was absolutely amazing. Pumped for the show? Hey, I don't blame you. Myself personally, I was gonna work. Just full disclosure, I know I talked about it early, but I know you got here late. I was gonna try to do a brand new overlay for the baseball, using like baseball themes and all that, and I didn't feel like paying an artist to do it, so I actually am sticking with the same. So I just downloaded the digital deluxe and I started hacking at it last night. But yeah, Collision's been absolutely great so far, Zodia. I agree with you. Because it's such a different feel to it, especially with Danielson right off the bat. And I know I was mentioning it earlier. It's actually weird to have your main event as your first match, but it makes a lot of sense because a lot of people aren't going to stick around to the end of the show. I would laugh so hard if we ended up getting a report that Darby Allin is climbing Mount Everest anyway. And those photos were actually doctored. No complaints so far. Show's been an easy, enjoyable watch. Yeah, like let's put it this way: if you're out here to spend your entire night crap posting on WWE, don't bother, because I don't want to do it. But I will say this, and this is just gonna be a little bit of a crap. How much of a break do we get in between matches? Very, very little. We'll get a promo here and there. We got the odd promo, the odd video, but it's just match after match after match. We don't have anything waiting. I love the fact that Pac considers him a heel. I love that Collision's pretty much all wrestling. Absolutely. Like, this is actually what it reminds me of what happened at Revolution. Like, usually you'd have a promo package or something to try to, or some interviews and that, just to get yourself a bit of a breather. No, they just literally just, all right, we're just going to keep going match after match after match here. I think the only backstage interview we had during the entire pay-per-view was not actually a full conversation. It was Renee and Lexi talking about both competitors in the Continental Classic match. Let's go segue to segue here. What do you guys think of them pushing Kingston versus Okada? We all thought it was going to be the pay-per-view. They're doing it on Wednesday in Toronto. McG, you get to see the I Quit match and Okada wrestling Kingston. Like, I'm sorry, but Toronto fans get eaten good here. Makes me wonder what it's going to be like with when they come up here to Edmonton. Yeah, I'm very happy for you, McG. I really do hope that everything goes well for you. Then they got they still keep trying to push this video game on us, and they have to realize that, you know, well, the crowd at least can't get to the gimmick. When it comes to video games, they just got to take an L and move on here at this point. Their game is pretty much the wrestling game equivalent to what happened with Suicide Squad, what happened with Mortal Kombat. Maybe make a better new game. The biggest problem we have with that, Zodiac, I do believe that AEW has a deal with THQ. And I don't think THQ is going to go any further than this. Right now, you know how WB made that comment that they're going to focus on live service games rather than single-player campaigns? AEW Fight Forever reminds me a lot of what THQ would do in that case. Because if you look at Fight Forever, the game was fully priced coming out. It was a $60, $70 game Canadian. And then each DLC pack is like $12 to $15. For 3 wrestlers, $12. Jesus! Right in the brutalizer. There you go. And he's out. That look in Pac's eye says something. That was pretty amazing. But yeah, no L taken. I am totally like... Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, what you got in mind? You know what I want to see right now? Impact Wrestling fans will pop at this one. All of a sudden, EC3's music from Impact kicks in. Trouble, 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 trouble. Oh, could you just imagine? I'm not a... Let's put it this way. EC3's made some decisions in his life that... My God, look at that. Look at that shoulder. Now that's a good chance to calm down.
I'm so thankful I was able to wrestle Shibata tonight. You know, both of us were told years ago that we'd never be able to wrestle again. And here we are.
Shibata was paralyzed. I'll get to that in a sec, Zodiac. I think we're all grateful for that Will Ospreay match. Okay. It's true. Oh, goody. Danielson's ready. I think we're all ready for that. All right, so what is EC3 up to these days? I do believe he is part of the NWA. Last I heard, he was the national champion. Now, the NWA itself is in a whole bunch of, interesting fervor. Is it just the angle, or did Bryan put on some... He's had that extra muscle on him ever since he came back. Because that's what he's had to do to get himself, like the kind of schedule he wants to put on for the last year. It does, yeah, absolutely. Andrew! How you doing, my friend? Good to see you here tonight. Hope you are doing amazingly. If you watched the last 2 episodes of Dark Side, I think I mentioned it before, but I don't typically watch Dark Side of the Ring as a habit, just because I've known a lot of people that were on it, like not intimately, like they don't know me, I know them kind of thing, but it's under a case of don't meet your heroes kind of thing. I see the dark side that they got, and I got a lot darker. All right, is Archer going to bring out another dead guy with him here? Speaking of dark. Archer coming out of the face entrance. Same with Castagnoli. That is interesting. But no, Andrew, hope you're doing well here tonight. I just, the John Dent episode is really good. Yeah. I heard enough stories about it because he's from the West Coast here, right? So we got a couple veterans are out here who actually were working the WWF at the time while Tenta was in there. So well, I heard 4 people try to start the meat chant here. No one had a bad thing to say about him. No. That's the thing. There's a bunch of those people that I know I talked about don't meet your heroes kind of thing, but there are the good ones. And I have no doubt in my mind that Tenta probably was one of those good ones. Yeah, Bucklock said we're doing great here. We're watching a little AEW Collision on I believe it's TNT for you guys down in the States right now. And after we're done here, we're gonna hit up a little WWE 2K24 GM mode after the show here. So yeah, TNT. Okay, yeah. Up here in Canada, we actually, if you want to watch it legally, no shame if you don't, but you got to get TSN Plus, which is basically equivalent to ESPN Plus here in Canada. So, frankly, I think TSN should pop into my chat and get a sub. Because, except more curling. Yeah, fair enough. It is the World Championships right now, so... Seems like these guys are a little burnt out in the crowd ever since Pac was out there. I think the biggest problem here with these two is they don't know which one to cheer for because they want to cheer for both. There we go. There's the crowd. Now they woke up. Oh, look out. Oh, God. Nice recovery. You know what's great when you got a big man who can do a moonsault like that? But yeah, this is a lot of fun here checking things out. Once again, everybody, I know I don't say this enough. Thank you very much for stopping by here tonight. I do truly appreciate it. These have been really fun checking out. And also checking it out on the app is actually working out really well. I'm wondering, I might try this for Wednesday. I might actually try to do it on the app just to see if we can get the timing down a little better for you guys. Noel, take it. Thank you for contributing to the How the Ref Would Book challenge. Once again, we are 76% raised here, 114,000 out of 150. And for those that weren't around last week, we're raising channel points because everybody's asking me how I would book X, how I would book Y. We're doing a challenge where you guys give me a topic and I've created a charity challenge out of it. We sort of morphed it into something else here. Myself, Kayla J, who is here on Wednesday. Once again, thanks to her for stopping by here for Mercedes' debut. And from the Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots podcast, Vic the Villain, we're all going to be doing a 10-minute video on how we would book extra something. And right now it looks like the early running is finishing the story. For Cody Rhodes, how we would book it differently than what WWE has. I've already got a cockamamie story sort of put together in my head. We're going to put ours out here, and money's going to be donated to the charity of the winning video. So you guys can all help out and help us give some money to a good cause. Archer, you're not supposed to do heelish things like that if you're coming out of the face tunnel. Yeah, Kayla is one of the best, right? Just the reaction, I wish I could clip it better, but the reaction of Kayla when Mercedes came out, she was literally crying there. It was just amazing. I don't get too emotional when it comes to matches, but a debut like that to somebody who grew up with Mercedes Moné as her inspiration to get into wrestling. If I was booking, Sammy would have won Montreal and Cody versus Sammy. There you go, McG. It's ideas like that. Like, I'm sure if Vic's in the chat, he's feverishly writing that note down just to see how we could do that there. There's a million different ways you could take this story, and there's no way that would have been bad. There's always a way that a story could end up being bad depending on how the other ones are booked. It's like everybody said, there was no way, no doubt, no question that Rhea and Charlotte last year should have main evented night one. But there was a small problem with that. A tag team match that had been booked for over a year base of the storyline for multiple years for the most part between KO, Sammy, and the Usos sort of got in the way of that. Or you just get bad booking this year if they put the oh, I thought he stole the Snake's DDT. That would have been interesting. But this year, I feel really bad for Bayley if they end up putting that tag match as main event of night one. I would have laughed if they're going to do the tag match as a counter book to a potential collision that night. Yeah, I think they are. And it's heartbreaking in many ways because they actually really built this Bayley versus Io storyline up the right way. I don't know if it's that smart to do that. Oh, God. Oh, I thought he was pulling him in for the swing. Oh, he is. He looks like he is. Nope. Oh. And Archie just said, nope. That uppercut doesn't look dangerous, but the fact that you can glance it right off the front of the chin and pop it up. You just need people snapping their necks a little bit. Like, not literally, of course, but... Finisher time. I didn't watch SmackDown last night, but did The Rock just do more of his old gimmick stuff? I'll be honest, I didn't watch it, but I heard there was a Rock concert last night. That went overtime. Rock was getting over? I don't know about... Rock was over that night? Well... Like I said, I heard they did the Rock concert last night, and I heard it was a waste of... It went overtime. That's all I heard. I haven't watched it. I was playing baseball instead. No, actually, during that time, I had a round of PGA 2K23 I was going through. Because my OCD in me, I did 2 rounds on Thursday. I didn't get the third one done because I was busy watching streamers start up to MLB The Show. And watching them get so frustrated over the servers being down. That was an amazing sight. By the way, if you want to see somebody completely pissed, that was out of nowhere. But if you like watching people suffer, check out a streamer when a new game comes out that they've been hyping up for 3 months. And all of a sudden, servers go down so they can't play it. It was amazing. Streamers are the worst, present company included. I resemble that remark, thank you. Oh, trust me, it's going to be brutal tomorrow because, by the way, if you came in late, bonus stream tomorrow, MLB The Show. I'll let you guys know what time. It all depends on what time I get home from work and get supper cooked and all that. Tonight's takeout night because I know that I don't have time to cook supper. Tomorrow. Oh, and here comes the... So we're going to get the Righteous versus the BCC. Come on, let's hear the music. Let's hear the music. Danielson's been beat. My God, look how red that shoulder is. He looks like he's been hit a few too many times. Okay. Now Shibata's there? Shibata defending the BCC. Here's a 6-man tag I never knew I wanted. It's not been thrown out. It's Claudio's win. So this could be Quebec City right here in 2 weeks. That would be an Easter feast I wouldn't mind eating. Oh, I love this. I'm gonna repost this out from Lyric Wrestler. Dynamite is a hot, popular older brother, but Collision is that nerdy younger brother who makes you laugh and has a good personality. Rampage is their first cousin who is always there, but occasionally has some great one-liners.
I don't even know what to think right now. Look, Lexi, Ottawa, Canada is an hour and a half down the road from where I grew up. This is a second home to me. You know, I have my mom sitting on the crowd, friends, and I was ready for a fight tonight, Lexi. I was ready for a fight. This guy's been asking for one for weeks.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Relax. How am I supposed to relax? This guy is a coward. So you know what? He's going to have a match tonight. He's damn well going to have a fight. I'm going to find him right now. Right now. Look at
You know that this is what they want. They're baiting you in, just like I said they would. If you go looking for a fight, you're gonna have to do it without me.
Okay. Wait. You're right. You're right. Wait. She's right, baby. I apologize. I carried away. I'll leave it alone for tonight. Okay? Okay?
See, if they were smart, they would take it to, they'll take this one to Quebec City. Between Angelo and Knight. Take it to Quebec City. They are the Francophone team 2.0. They always were out of Quebec, so. And then, just look. Sorry, I'm looking over the chat, seeing if I missed anything here. Do you like the Righteous? I do too. I haven't had a real chance to. I've seen a little bit more of Vincent than I have of Dutch, but seeing Vincent in ROH in the final months before the old ROH before Tony Khan purchased it, he was doing some really good work with Matt Taven there. And the whole story of breaking up the team that they were in, and I've seen a few matches of Dutch, and he's been fantastic. But I haven't seen enough of a source to really give a good comment about it. But yeah, it makes sense that they're going to delay things. Like, you don't see anything really building here tonight in terms of real storylines following through. I do have to double check. I don't think there is a Collision on next week. I'm pretty much 100% sure of that. Because TNT and TBS have wall-to-wall basketball coverage pretty much all weekend starting on Thursday. Because they got 16... they got the round of 32 going on next Saturday. So you're going to have 8 games going on. Sorry, so yeah, 32 teams, 16 games, 2 days. Yeah, so 8 games that day. Pretty sure they're not going to have any extra time for wrestling there. So that's why Rampage is going to go an extra hour right after Dynamite next week, which basically is just the same time that they run their real tapings in town. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to check and see if we're. I'll have to see. Are you guys interested for me covering Rampage next week if it's right after Dynamite? because that's where it's scheduled for right now. Would you guys want me to do a 3-hour simulcast on that? Then maybe throw some WWE after that? Or maybe we'll have to throw WWE in the afternoon sometime, or always down for watch-alongs? Hey, I can't say why not, because, you know, it'll be a little weird for a lot of people, but I do know the timing's set up pretty good, that the fact we're going to have some extra time here available next week, so McGee, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do for that comment you just made. Whether it's this or it's this. You can boo you? No, you know what? You're helping the cause. You bought the tickets. You're going to the show. It's going to be a fun experience for you, and you know, it'll be nice to get a perspective of somebody actually going to these shows. For people that are from the States, you have to realize that the shows from Canada are really special, because we don't get them half as often as you guys do down in the States. My God, do I love Brian Keith. And like I was mentioning earlier in the show, AEW Unrestricted this week, the AEW sponsored podcast with Will Washington and Aubrey Edwards, they actually had a full, I think it's like a 45-minute interview with Brian Keith. Talked about his bringings up in Texas and how he used to watch Coliseum home video, videotapes, essentially of The Undertaker, how he developed his gimmick. And a lot of people don't realize he looks, he actually is a trainer at Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's promotion. So not only has Booker T brought him in, but Brian Keith is also a trainer there now, training the next generation of wrestlers, including a local product that has gotten a lot of attention for a recent tour of Japan here, and that's Gigi Ray. And Kyle looking like he hasn't had sleep since his last injury. But yeah, I would highly recommend you take a look at the Undisputed podcast. It's on everything. I'm sorry, I'm horrible for links. I'm not for everything that I do here. All the links are a little off here. Still looking for a little piece of equipment to help me out here with some of this stuff too. So stream's not perfect, but it is working a little bit here. So Noel taken. I am good for maybe 1 to 2 little factoids that somebody doesn't know about given in a week. So thank you for fulfilling my quota before the week's out here. So but yeah, Kyle's got a different look to him here. I would have loved to see, I can't wait to see what Kyle O'Reilly's return is going to be like in Vancouver. That's going to be May 15th, I do believe. Well, I'm a Texan, so hey, Texas Knowledge Fascinates. Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, like on the podcast, Keith mentions PWA in particular. The PWA Texas promotion as where he got his start from Booker T. And that's morphed into the Reality of Wrestling now. So, but yeah, they're actually doing. I want to know when they're booking Collision on WrestleMania week. Just a quick note. If AEW is intellectually gifted enough to try and book a Collision against WrestleMania, I don't know if we're actually going to be doing a sidecast that night. I might watch it the next day and just give you guys like a brief synopsis of my thoughts on it. Jesus. That'll be a lot of wrestling for one week. It's already going to be a lot of wrestling. Have you seen all the indie shows that are available there? Like, that's one thing I'm wondering about Toronto. Like, with Money in the Bank coming to town in July, I wonder if they're going to start... If the Money in the Bank weekend's going to start using a lot of... like, multiple show kind of things, like bringing a bunch of indies there for that time. Bad shoulder, come back off being a father. Yeah, there's so much wrestling going on that weekend. It's just insane. Like, I know people that actually have clipboards out. They just added a Trish meet and greet for Money in the Bank week. That does not surprise me in the slightest. House of Glory doing a very well could be. I know WrestleMania weekend, there's like maybe 7 or 8 different promotions that are doing it. Like, WWE has actually gone around, and this is McMahon area. I don't know if it's changed this year, but I know Vince actually said that he had to force venues outside of a certain radius from the stadium had to not include any indie wrestling shows as part of their bookings. That was one of the guarantees that Vince needed to have for you to have WrestleMania at your city. So, chat, what do you guys think? Like, I know we're... Oh, he left him hanging. Oh, he left him hanging. That's bad. That's bad karma. I've always loved Keith's gimmick here, but I was going to ask you guys, like, we're always used to these warm weather spots for WrestleMania. What do you guys think about the rumor going around that next year's WrestleMania is actually going to be in Mini? Like, I guess Philly isn't exactly a warm weather place either right now, but usually you're looking at your LAs, your Floridas, a lot of places that'll give you tax breaks on everything. But in all seriousness, it seems interesting that they're actually thinking about doing Mania at Mini, which is great for the home bed of wrestling, right? So many great wrestlers out of the state of Minnesota through so many generations, but do cities bid on Mania? Yeah, like, they're at the point now where Mania essentially is a paid show. No comment. Don't want to upset the Minnesota watchers.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad I added that one in, that sound now. Because this applies quite often now these days.
Uh-oh.
But, which is why so many celebrities are brought in. Makes sense. Yeah, like, you're at a point where different cities have to offer X number of dollars to WWE to run their city. It used to be where they would just put a show anywhere, but now, like, that's what happened with Berlin. That's why they won't do a show in London, because London will not pay for it. Because London is one of the biggest tourist cities in the world. Why do they need WWE? It's not going to bring them extra numbers. They already get the most numbers of anybody in the world. That's why when everybody was talking about, oh, we're going to get The Rock, we're going to get Roman Reigns, we're going to get all these extra special guys down in Australia, we're like, no, you're not. Why would you need to? Like, WWE's got their money. I do find a 2-day Mania too much. I don't focus as much as I should on the entire. I'll say this: I'll take a 2-day Mania over a 1-day 8-hour. Let's sit down. Let's try and survive. I have a hard enough time trying to survive a 5-hour AEW pay-per-view. Wow, two I didn't know facts in one stream. Hey, let's actually, I'll go that way. That's for me. Is he fishing with a triangle? Oh, no, he doesn't. All right, a PK. What? We're here to learn and grow together. Aw. Uh-oh. Keith just said nope. But yeah, like, the majority of these out-of-country shows for WWE, they're bought shows. That's why you will never see a pay-per-view come to Edmonton. I don't know if Toronto bought Money in the Bank. No way. Kyle's the kind of guy that, would sell. He would take a loss here. But Kyle knows how to play dead. He knows exactly how to be dead. That's a little bit of nuts. Now, it's no different than the Saudi shows, except the Saudis pay a lot more money so they can have their extra demands. Of course, a lot of the times when it comes to the Saudis, they're a little idiotic because they were looking for Yokozuna. They were using Yokozuna and the Ultimate Warrior as two people they wanted on their show 5 years ago, after both those guys have been dead a long time ago. Oh, the originator. The originator of the rebound clothesline. Let's go. Brainbuster into the arm bar, and this is over. Yep. Armageddon. Kyle didn't know if he had it, but I wonder how he feels right now. Oh, God, and these three. Match is going a little long. Well, all we got left is the tag match, right? So Because, yeah, the only match we have left is our tag tournament wildcard match with the Infantry against House of Black, which I'm actually happy that the Infantry are getting a main event spot here tonight. All right, let's get to Lexi. Not gonna play, just surprised. I'm not. They let things marinate here quite well. Cosplay kid. Oh, that's right. We got the promo. Perazo shirt. Yeah, it's an interesting choice of outfit. Will Toni Storm be in black and white next week? I think she'll be for about half the match. Yeah, Zodiac. Perazo isn't afraid to experiment with outfits like that. More so for the fact that there are so many people pissed off with how she looks and makes so many comments. Usually it's like a little kid just trying to influence you and try to make you do more. So it turns out that, yeah. I think that tag match is going to be absolutely great next week. And she doesn't give two F's about it. Absolutely. Just because... No L taken. I will agree with you except for one little thing. Exactly, McGee. Sometimes... I'm just trying to see. That's what I forgot to add in here. I'm gonna have to add that in for tomorrow. The duck hunt little chime I usually have for when we score a run. I usually pop that in, but I got this one last spot here available, so I think I know what it's for now. So, yeah, people are just weird about stuff, and like I said, I do think that tag match is going to go over well. I do think that Thunder Rosa is going to get a visual pin, but Toni Storm will get Deonna will get the actual pin. And it's going to set up a triple threat coming up at Dynasty. I think they got to find a way to get Thunder Rosa back on our TVs here. Well, let me know what you guys think. What is going to lead to that tag match? What are people going to end up with here? Because I think they do need to do... I think they need to do something with Thunder Rosa. They got to get her going. You just want Rosa back in the ring? I agree. Like, for all the BS that happened before, I would love to get Thunder Rosa back in the ring. And here's the other thing, and I know that they don't like each other backstage. Get Thunder Rosa the belt. Then have Britt come back, and let's run that back one more time. Like, nobody knows what's going on with Britt right now. I wouldn't even mind Toni Storm keeping the belt and having Jamie Hayter come back, and that's one of your main matches going forward. Like, booking All In is just... It's going to be amazing. You can basically book best on best from around the world. And... Oh, so Copeland's getting the main event spot tonight. Yeah, so this match is only going to get about 10 minutes. We'll have to see how this goes. While we're waiting for the House of Black entrance, which is absolutely fantastic, the weird thing is there's a little bit too much pyro in there for Malachi's liking. Because he's always wanted to have the... he hasn't wanted the pyro. He wanted a very minimalist look to it when he was coming down. What I wanted to ask you guys about what on indie wrestling news, sort of. What do you guys think of Shayna Baszler getting to be a part of Josh Barnett's Bloodsport? Because that was announced earlier this week. For those that aren't familiar with the Bloodsport show, it is a essentially pit fighter from the video game world, or Bloodsport from movie fame, from Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. There are no ropes. All there is tap out or knockout. There's no pinfalls or anything like that. So I love the fact that Baszler's getting the chance to be a part of that, because that's the gimmick that she's in. And apparently it's proof that WWE is I think WWE is starting to see the writing on the wall, because TKO isn't willing to pay the money that AEW can for these events, or for these wrestlers coming in. It happened both with Ospreay, with Okada, with Monet. Apparently, TK outbid them all. And WWE has been going on the reputation of, oh, you get a chance for notoriety, you get a chance for WrestleMania, where everybody's just turning around and saying, well, I can build my own reputation, thank you, and give me the money. Not everyone cares about Mania. Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel bad in many ways, because there are some local... I know there's one local wrestler we have around here. He's an absolute... I would say, if not the top talent in the province, he's one of the top 3. And I honestly feel he had a decent shot at AEW. But every time I've chatted with him, it's like WWE or bust. Is it Keegs?
No, please, no.
Is that a good enough answer for you there, McGee? No, I don't want to bring up names, because backstage stuff, you don't... But anyway, he's just dogged determined. It's either WWE or bust. And I'm sorry, but there's many careers here in Alberta that could have been... They could have been a part of something better, whether it be Impact, whether it be New Japan, whether it be anything but WWE. It can be AEW as an option. And just people that grew up on WWE dream of being a WWE wrestler. So yeah, this match is going to last 3 minutes now. Even in WWE, even if WWE's ultimate goal, getting more eyes on you is better. A lot of people don't see it that way. Like, when it comes to Vince, it was very simple. You worked with AEW, you're not working for WWE. Like, I think Cody Rhodes was the exception, because he had the history, he had everything going on. Good old picture in picture. But yeah, a lot of indies are eating good off of WrestleMania week. In many ways, I equate WrestleMania weekend for independent wrestling. It's sort of like that. You get your local carnival that you get once a year, like your big festival carnival. Like, for example, the Calgary Stampede. That's when you bring in all the smaller vendors will come in there and show their wares that are similar to that. Everything Cowboy shows up there. When it comes to WrestleMania, all the little independents will come out and show their wares because anybody who's anyone is at WrestleMania weekend watching the show. Supposedly. Or that's where you're going to get your eyes on your product and hopefully get exposure. With the internet now, it's a lot easier to know who is who and what's what and who's where. And signing Cody was also an FU to AEW. When it comes to that topic, I'll sum this up very fairly here. We don't know all the details. And Cody's never been one to talk about it. My opinion, when it comes to Cody signing with WWE, I think that was the best situation for both parties. Myself. If you go back to the time that Cody was in AEW, he got to the point now where he wouldn't turn heel. He was basically stuck in this endless loop of TNT championships where it could say, win it, lose it, win it, lose it, win it, lose it, fight Sammy, don't fight Sammy, fight Sammy, don't fight Sammy. And there really wasn't much else for him to do in that situation. And I think he booked himself into a corner where he had to leave. Straight up. He got a fresh start. The company got away from Cody Island. That we've heard that more than once being a thing. And it worked out. I think it worked out best for both parties. It's been a couple years of... Yeah, exactly. He was disjointed from the rest of the show. I'm not ignoring him, McGee. I just want to get through this before we get to that. So, but it's almost like what people were fearing what's going to happen with Monet here in AEW. The fact that she's going to get her own segment and all that stuff. But you fucked up. You fucked up. Oh. Sorry, I'm going to get this in here now. I don't like to promote the you effed up, but that one definitely applies on that shot. With all the behind the scenes stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if in 1 year, all the old executives in the WWE are gone and TKO brings a bunch of people that have no connection with Vince. I do and I don't. And the biggest reason why I say I don't see that, if you remember, Ted Turner originally, when he bought WCW, brought in a manager from a Little Caesars to run the company. This gentleman wanted to shave Ric Flair's hair, put him in a gladiator outfit, and call him Spartacus.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if that would be the most opportune thing to do. I really wanted the Infantry to get a shot, but... Ugh. No, that's an actual fact. You can look up Jim Herd, WCW. And that's actually, if you guys don't remember, if like Noel Taken, if you don't know the history of it, Ric Flair showed up at WWF with the big gold belt, the World Heavyweight Championship, which he got in trouble with because he was the NWA World Champion. Jim Herd fired him but never got the $25,000 deposit for the title back to Flair. Like, historically, when you had the NWA World Championship, you had to post a $25,000 bond on the title, the physical title. You get it back when you give the belt back. Well, he never got the money back, so he said to hell with giving you the belt back. And he walked into WWE with the title. So, well, Brody just said, no, I want this table broken, and we are going to break it. You wouldn't break it the first. Oh my God. That table did not want to break. Brody King is an absolute monster. Except he's a monster with a broken tailbone now. What the hell's going on? Mark Briscoe. So, Briscoe got put through a flaming table yesterday, and there's this one fan that's just sitting there. Oh my God! So we get the Infantry versus FTR. Oh my gosh. I love that. Tony Bravo will find out when he wakes up that he won. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, Malachi looks pissed. Black is pissed. I love it. Watch him turn on the house. So now we show the bracket. Okay. So it's FTR versus the Infantry. Winner of that gets Ricky Starks and Big Bill and Top Flight. That's probably going to be... I'm guessing it's going to be FTR and Ricky and Bill, which is going to be a replay of another great match that they had. I think there was supposed to be a promo spot there that got cut because that whole thing went a little far. Because what, we only got, 7 minutes from now till the 8 o'clock hour here, so. Did you notice the fan that wouldn't get out of Briscoe's way when he ran? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. There was a... Finally figured out that the wrestler's right behind him, so they finally got in gear. Brody had to stop running. I'm guessing right now that I don't know if Beth is... Here's one for you guys. How does this one end, this I Quit match? Like, I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, the easy play would be have Beth out here getting affected, but Beth actually can't be involved. Because Beth, I believe, is under a Legends contract with WWE, so if that's the case, Kill switch finally turns on Cage? Maybe, but would that make him quit? Hey, Cameron, what's your bad? There's no bad here. Mariah May becomes Copeland's ex-wife. Ah! Too much grunt. Hey, you know what? I don't mind if people idle while they're watching and listening, and we're doing a sidecast. It's not, as much as, my face is so beautiful here. It's more about us talking with each other, chatting with each other, right? What's in the case? That'll be what it's named Spike. I think we all can figure out what it's going to be. I think it's just because they can't call it Barbie anymore. I think it's a 2x4 with nails in it. Or a baseball bat with nails in it. Or a shaved off hockey stick with nails in it. Or nails with smaller nails in it. I'll give you a jam token for that. Or bees with dogs in the mouth that shoot bees. Wait, the case has Christian's dad in it. I know. Copeland's been nailing it out of the park here. Ooh. They're talking Ottawa. They want to talk about hockey there. Gotta go clock into work. Hey, Noel, thank you for stopping by here. I do appreciate having you here. We're going to be here every Wednesday and Saturday with a little wrestling sidecast here, so don't be afraid to stop by. Plus, we'll be here for the pay-per-views as well. Cuban goiter. Uh-huh. All right, I see you. Bang, bang. He's talking about Abyss? Because Abyss created Janice. Uh-huh.
See, Spike, she's hungry and she wants to take a bite out of your bony ass, Christian. So that phone call from Mrs. Foley's baby boy, well, it worked because I remember who I am.
WrestleMania 22.
Kept it bottled up, but I am the rated R superstar. I am a man that has dark caves in my head that you don't have, and you've never navigated them. But
This is pretty awesome here.
won't be thankful after this Wednesday because this Wednesday you're going to be in the hospital. Spike and I are going to change you, man. We're going to take away your pride. We're going to take away your ego. We're going to take away your manhood.
That could take away manhood in a hurry.
We trained at Sully's gym with Brock Hutchison. I'm going to make you say two words that will cause you never to be able to look your daughters in the eyes again.
Ooh.
Spike and I are going to take away your pride. We're going to make you say two words. Those two words are I quit.
Watch this. That audio's clipped and they're going to use it next time.
40 years after this all started in our hometown, it ends.
Well, I will say that's... Did he just lick a nail? Did he just lick a nail? Ew. And it's got an arrow on the back. That's hilarious. Oh, Collision is so much fun to watch. McGee, I want to thank you for insisting on me getting onto this and watch a little more. Your work in the Remember the Game Discord is exemplary on that. And I'm just glad that, you know, it's been such a fun experience hanging out with you guys here for this. It is, like, overall tonight's show, like, Shibata Danielson was a classic. We had Julia and Trish Adora was absolutely fantastic match. Garcia and Lee Moriarty, absolutely great. The Infantry beating the House of Black thanks to Mark Briscoe, which is going to bring up a whole different ball of wax coming up. Thank you, Zodiac, for coming out here tonight. Then that promo by Copeland just wrapping up the whole show, setting up Wednesday, which it's going to be fun to watch Wednesday. Wednesday from Toronto. Toronto's always got a special vibe when it comes to wrestling, and it's going to have an extra special vibe with AEW, especially with McGee in the crowd, because I know it's going to bring an extra bit of enthusiasm there. So.